since we didn't really quite have a Chinese New Year this year, everyone took the October holiday sort of like Chinese New Year. And also this October holiday is special because it's doubled with the Mid-Autumn Festival in China, which is again a festival for family reunion. Because of this, millions, actually, I have the number, 550 million people are expected to have hit the road this week by the time October 7th comes around, right? And that number depends on how you look at it. It is 70% of 2019. So you could say, whoa, it's a 30% drop, or it's an amazing 70% recovery from zero. Right?
Right.
And we do have 100 million more people on the road than over the Chinese New Year 2020.
And I'm sure certainly those numbers will be envied by a lot of other industries that are suffering, that would like to see more tourism, but because of the pandemic, haven't been able to. I want to talk about something. Obviously, when people are thinking of traveling, they're thinking about social distancing issues and safety. When you have this many people all moving around the same time, in the same period of time, what are your thoughts on the best ways that this can be managed safely and efficiently?
I think that's very, very hard. It's almost impossible. I think the airlines and the train companies are doing their best. At checkpoints, there's always temperature checks and masks are required. And on the airplane, it's better because most people would wear masks. But on the trains, it's majority of people go ahead with without a mask. I would advise individuals, if they can, stay home or drive to nearby locations. And if they have to travel, a lot of people do take self precautions with their own masks and hand sanitizers as must-haves. But it's very, very hard. It's so crowded, as you can imagine.
Now, for most people in the U.S., when they think about some of these mid-range trips, the first thing they think about is getting a rental car. I understand that that's not as prevalent, renting a car in China. Talk about some of these rental car companies that are based there and what they're doing and how they're faring.
Oh, I think Chinese rental cars for the first time is seeing a huge surge. I would say there are a couple of reasons. One is most families are restricted from going further in their usual tourist routes, right? Because students are required to stay either within the city where they live or within the province where they live. Because of that, most people opt for nearby travel. Or even if the ones who are flying far away, they would fly the long distance, but prefer to travel around with a rental car. So in China, Yihai Zuche or Ctrip, Trip.com's rental businesses, car rental businesses are all seeing a huge increase, 50% increase, 150% increase. And 50% of those customers are new, first-time car renters.
So then what are some of these travel companies doing then to either lure more people to come or really differentiate themselves, given that people do have different travel alternatives?
Right now, they don't. Right now, these car rental companies don't have to do anything. What people are experiencing in tourist locations, attractive locations like Inner Mongolia or Qinghai, those places, the supply is very limited. And therefore, it's very often travelers would arrive without being able to find a car to rent. So it's a seller's market right now.
And so then, talking about tourism then, what are some of the major trends that you're seeing this year? And how is that going to affect the industry long term, once people do get used to, renting cars or perhaps getting more used to some local tourism? Some of those trends, how do you see those affecting long term?
Right. I see some very positive trends and as well as some worrying trends. The very positive front, I think Chinese travelers are flocking to nature. They are discovering the beauty of nature without necessarily going to a tourist site. Still, many do go to tourist sites. But people are going off the beaten path. Cave camping or car camping, these are becoming much more popular. And so the upgrading of travel experiences is a must, which I think is excellent. And the second thing that I'm seeing is many of these triple or quadruple A, these are the highest quality scenic sites in China, have started to have allotment, online booking reservation systems for entrance tickets in order to manage the carrying capacity each day. And that is, once again, a very good trend because it limits the crowds to each site, which helps to increase the traveler experience. And the third trend I'm seeing is businesses like mine, WildChina, we are seeing an uptick of people coming to us. Why? Because we tailor-make small groups of travel to remote destinations, and people now appreciate the sort of privately tailored experiences going far. These are all great. However, the challenges are the lead times very short. People make decisions because of COVID experience, the large cancellations, is that people don't want to make advanced planning, which makes traveling much harder to manage.